But if we bash our heads together and go, okay, how can we help builders and tradies find 10 grand of pure profit in the bank account? Where do we start?
Well, I'm glad that you asked. The first thing to start would be to go to our website, because we have a downloadable lead magnet called 151 Ways to Make an Extra $500 to $1,000 per week on every job.
Nice.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
So we could even provide that as a resource for people.
Sweet, yeah. I'll link it into the show notes.
So I think it's categorizing it first, and it's looking at, okay, what are the different levers that we have to pull? So we have marketing, we have sales, we have on-site, we have labor, we have systems, we have suppliers.
Yep.
And then looking at, okay, and pricing.
Yep.
Which of those levers can I pull, and how can I go about pulling them?
Okay. The one that I think would have the least friction would be, for trying to think like a tradie, would probably be suppliers, where they think, I wonder if I could ask them to do something a little bit cheaper for me.
Absolutely. So every 90 days, take all your existing jobs or the latest job that you have priced, put it out to the different merchants and get them to come back to you with their best pricing, and do that across all the materials that you're using on every project. Just doing that one thing will help massively. So we had a friend of mine, a guy, Zane Beckett, who built the fastest growing company in New Zealand in 27 called ZB Homes. He won the Deloitte Fast 50. He was on the tools and it was raining. He was like, well, shit, I can't work outside. So what he did was he got on the phone, rang around his suppliers and talked through timber supplies, looked at fixtures and fittings, and saved 22 grand in the space of an hour and a half on his next project through doing that.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, holy shit.
There's something there. So now
Absolutely.
You build a process with the builders that you're working with to routinely go through and do that.
Absolutely. So we have in this document, in this 151 ways, it goes through step by step everything that you can do, like looking in the jumbo bins with your guys each day on site and having a look at what have they chucked out, incentivizing them for, cutting to the right size and not wasting, and then what you do with your copper, et cetera, et cetera. So this has 151 detailed strategies that you can go through and cherry pick the ones that are going to work for you.
Nice. Okay. Let's go to sales. Mm-hmm. What's something we can do in the sales space to bring in some profit?
Yep. So sales, one of the easiest things is asking for referrals. So we have a 1% referral system. So anyone who brings you a new job. So let's say you do, I don't know, new homes, and you're building a new 800K new home. Then if you refer me your friend Tom, when you refer Tom and Tom pays his initial deposit and signs a contract, you get 1% of the contract value. So you get 8 grand.
Sheepers.
I get the project 800K at a good margin, because every person who comes via referral, they're typically your best kind of clients. They're less price resistant. They have greater trust. And if you say, hey, Marty's a great builder, highly recommend him, go and have a chat, there's a good in there for the builder.
So I would imagine that you only want to do that, though, with jobs that you're pricing properly.
Oh, I absolutely do not. Yeah, that's a given, right?
Yeah.
So, and our smart members, they will then take this 1% referral fee. They'll get their team involved. They'll give it to their sub-trades, their subcontractors. They'll put it onto marketing collateral and onto their website, and then they'll send it out to everyone from their local business networking groups to Chamber of Commerce to their rugby team and school newsletter. And so you can put ads in the school newsletter and say, hey, we'll give the 1% to the school so the school can help fund a new swimming pool, the hockey team to go to Canada or whatever. And so one of our members just recently got 3 new projects, 1.8 mil worth of work. The school got the 18 grand to put towards the hockey team going to Canada, and he got the 1.8 mil worth of work at a great margin at 21%. And those people know that, because the local community, that they're going to get great work because the builder is a stand-up guy and his kids go to that school.
Love it. So that's a lot different to, I'm going to sponsor my son's rugby team in the hope that someone reaches out one day.
Yeah, hope is never a good strategy. So design your strategy.
Yeah, so you've put a deliberate system in place, and then you've got to have that confidence that you can have those conversations.
100%. Yeah. You can train your team. So another variation of that is you can have your team, like let's say you live...
Dannyburg.
I was thinking somewhere more upmarket,
Fuck, Hawera. Hawera.
Exactly, you're at Hawera, right? And you've got your ideal project that you're working on. Then you can get your guys who are working on that build go 2 to 3 streets wide with some flyers, and they might knock on each door with a Moro bar or whatever and say, hey, we're just working at 34 Smith Street. We're doing a renovation there. We're extending the house. We're putting a new bedroom on. Have you thought of, if you see of anyone driving around or in utes, that's us from XYZ building. And if you see anyone in a high-vis jacket or you hear any loud noises, that's us. My apologies for any noise in advance. Hey, and here's a bag of M&Ms or whatever for you and your kids. Yeah. By the way, have you thought about renovating your house, or do you know of anyone that might be looking to build or renovate in the area? Hey, great, because we have a referral program. Here's how this works.
Man, I love the shit, eh? And I love like, people won't do it either. Too scary, too like, no, exactly. Don't have time for that,
But the guys that do, it's a game changer. It. Just like our members who put out an info pack before they go and see. So rather than, oh yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, show up, should be about 3.5 square. No worries, I can hook you up. Our members will actually say, great, hey, before we come out, I've got a few questions. Do you have consent? Do you have plans? What's your budget? Have you talked to any other builders? Tell me a little bit about what you're looking to achieve with your project. Great. Okay, the next step is let's make sure, what do we need to do for Mrs. Smith to be there? Awesome, great. Yep, I can pop out at 4:30 on Tuesday. That works next week. In advance, I'm going to send you an information pack that takes you through a little bit about our company, how we work, what happens, and our prelim budget process, so you can have a look and you know the kind of building company that we are that's going to help with the biggest investment of your life. So that helps to overcome know, like, and trust. And instead of you having to do a triple sell when you get there, like people are going to ask 4 key questions. Who are you? Who's your company? Can I trust you? And how specifically can you help me? So sales becomes easier when marketing does the heavy lifting. So in that pack, it's going to have frequently asked questions. It's going to have some of the suppliers. It's going to have your values, your rules of the game on site, and then a little breakdown of who's on your team and who's going to be in their house. So already you're setting the standard versus the 2 or 3 other builders that they might be talking to think, holy shit, this is how professional these guys are in the beginning. They're not just, oh, sorry, mate, I'm up a ladder. Can I call you back tomorrow?
Yeah, and then forget to call them back.
Yeah, exactly. Just sets a completely different tone and an expectation that they're not going to go under, that they have good systems and processes, and that this is how professional they are at the beginning. Imagine what they're going to be like to deal with through the project.